Start the stream. Streaming started. Drop the card. Get in the game. Do my stuff. Okay. Why am I here and why am I don't know. All the exclamation points. Hey, look, Zhongli. Okay. Quests. Archon quest. Characters currently involved in another quest cannot join this quest. Nilu. Somebody else. Show cancelled. So apparently I need to go do this one. Alright, here we go. Loading screen is loading. Ever so slowly.
I follow the wind.
Nilu, where are you?
Time to go.
What a pain. It's time to apply for a new budget again.
Trying to best the academia in a debate is attempting the impossible. If you really want to try, I won't stop you. It's not like our situation can get any worse.
I don't think it's entirely hopeless. To Sharif, Nilu's approach will come off as naive, but that kind of frankness is exactly what they lack the most. Things might turn out differently from what you expect.
I am in favor of such a romantic feat. No playwright will turn down a compelling underdog story.
Sure, in fiction, but I'm not sure how well that will translate to reality. I'm not saying that I don't support you, Nilu. If you need my help, just say the word. Anything is better than just standing aside and watching the theater get demolished.
I'm also pitching in. Let's show the Academia that we have some fight in us.
Thank you, everyone. I feel a lot less nervous with your support.
Not to rain on your parade, but my father is a real hard guy to deal with. He's erudite, meticulous, demanding, and exceedingly familiar with rigorous logic. It'll be extremely difficult to beat him in a debate. You all already knew that. But you just didn't want to hurt Nilu's feelings. But when all's said and done, aren't you hurting her just the same?
That's enough, Inaya.
Sorry, I ruined the mood. I just can't force myself to expect a positive outcome. Nilu shouldn't have to push herself for the sake of an impossible goal.
Yeah, it's way too early to give up. You're right, Inaya. We're up against the Academia. Everyone knows that they're very powerful. Being skeptical might actually be the more normal response. But I still want to try. I'm reluctant to just let Zubair Theater go. And it's not just me. I think everyone else here feels the same way. If we're unhappy, we should speak up and let our voices be heard. Say what's on your mind, and do what you think should be done. If we fail after that, then at least we won't have any regrets. I mean, after all, the only thing we can control right now is our choice at this very moment.
I understand what you're trying to say. I also have my own intense feelings of anger and regret.
Then, could I trouble you to tell your father about our plan for a debate? You can still get in touch with your family, right?
Yes, I can.
Then, please help us pass on my request. I've never participated in a debate, and truth be told, I'm still not really confident in myself. But since we've decided on a debate, I'll do my best to prepare for it. I'll gather everyone's thoughts and let them be known to all during the debate. I, by myself, definitely don't have enough wisdom to beat your father. But what about the entire theater combined? Then we should have a chance, right?
Right.
That's right, Miss Nilu.
Beat the bad guy! Justice will prevail!
Make him eat dirt!
You too. We aren't getting into a fight. But thank you for your encouraging words. I'll do my best. Well said back there, Nilu. I felt that I might have said a bit too much. Anyway, we better start preparing now. First, let's see what everyone thinks about the situation. All right, time to pull everyone's thoughts. Mr. Zubair, we're trying to put together a list of arguments that might be useful. Any ideas?
It won't be difficult to explain our position. They're in the wrong, and they know it. I have meticulously managed this theater's affairs for years, and I have abided by every procedure and obtained every permit. I did all of that to protect ourselves if something like this were to occur. I didn't expect them to disregard the rules altogether. Yes, I know. But anyone who's staying at the theater is one of us. If I can't even protect the members of the theater from outside pressure, then I have failed in my duty as a manager. In summary, you need sufficient confidence and strict adherence to the rules. At least for now, they don't have the authority to demolish the theater. As long as you double down on that point and force them to concede it, you'll gain an advantage.
All right, got it.
I've seen many situations like this before. The Academia sure likes to get its nose into everyone's business. While you prepare for the debate, I will also prepare the theater for the potential aftermath. It's best to prepare for the worst outcome. Once you're done chatting, do me a favor and tell our customers that we're canceling all of our shows.
Do we really have to?
Right now, no one's in the right frame of mind to perform. I have to consider both our staff and our customers. This is the only way. Nilou, you are incredible. With your talent and youth, you had the least to lose out of all of us. And yet you were still the first to take a stand.
I've never thought about leaving your theater, Mr. Zubair. I truly love this place, and I want to keep dancing here. I also want to keep dancing with everyone else.
You're becoming more and more like her. Do your best. We'll do all that we can, and leave the rest to fate.
Her?
My teacher. She was an excellent dancer, but she's retired now. If we have time later, I'd be happy to tell you more about her.
I'm sure we'll get that story. But as
The
Mr.
scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
As Mr. Zubair was talking, Zubair was talking, he said something that made me remember. This is the way I have spoken. I'd just like to point out, we freed Nahida, and she's in control of everything, so shouldn't she, like, put the kibosh on the Academia? Plot hole.
I've gained a whole new level of respect for you. Inaya was right. It's true that I couldn't bear to bring down Nilou. It wasn't out of pity or anything, though. I just felt like I didn't have the right to say anything. After all, Nilou was the one who bravely stepped up and proposed to fight back. I didn't have that kind of courage or initiative. I'd be a terrible person if I spoke badly of Nilou without doing anything to help. She knows better than any of us how difficult this path will be.
I didn't expect you all to challenge the Academia. That reminded me of my younger years. Back then, I feared nothing and no one, and I was always charging into the most dangerous of places. I can't do things like that anymore, but those were some of the best times of my life.
Sorry. If the theater really ends up getting demolished, then you, Soren, and Abi will all...
It's all right. There's no need to think such heavy thoughts. Even if the building gets demolished, its people will still all be here. Have faith in the resilience of an adventurer. We can always figure something out.
But won't you have regrets if things just come to an abrupt end? It'd be like when you were forced to stop adventuring.
Ah, so that's what you were worrying about. Relax. I've had a lot of experience with regret. Things are painful at first, but as they say, time heals all wounds. Look at us now. Soren and Abi are happy. And Soren has also just passed his theater exam. He can start acting soon. He was thrilled because he can soon perform on the same stage as you. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for our past struggles. And would Soren have become a happier person? That's hard to say.
Are you trying to make us feel better?
Yes, but I truly do mean what I say. Being here at the theater has taught me an important lesson. The most important thing about an experience is how you choose to interpret it. I can choose to believe that my life ended with my husband's death. Or I can choose to believe that it was a blessing in disguise for Soren and Abi. Similarly, even if this theater disappears, A new beginning might just be around the corner. Good and bad are all human-made concepts. It all depends on how we choose to see things.
You have a point.
Nilou, I know how important Zubair Theater is to you. But you don't have to be so nervous. We're all here with you. The theater won't go down so easily.
Thank you, Miss Raykar.
No need to thank me. If anything, you inspired me with your bravery. You might have what it takes to become an excellent adventurer.
You're too kind. All right, I gotta cheer up. I can't waste everyone's words of encouragement. I feel a lot better.
Good. My children and I will be cheering you on at the debate.
When the day comes, I'll get my friends and the theater's customers to come and support Nilou. If anything goes wrong, I'll have them scream and shout and drown out whatever Sharif says. I can't do that? Fine, I'll think of something else.
To talk to him.
So, you've already developed some prejudices against me. And to think, I was just about to put forward a suggestion.
Oh, Paimon will listen to that.
Although, I know not if you have a new answer to my previous question. Now seems like an appropriate time to revisit it. What do you think is the meaning of art?
Oh, this again?
We probably do need to tackle this question if we want to prove the value of the arts. I don't know how to explain it, but all I know is that when my performance makes the audience happy, I also become very happy. Does that count as a meaning?
You answered him so seriously. Careful, Nilou. This guy's ramblings never make any sense.
No. Nilou's answer far surpasses yours, and it is close to my own. The meaning of art comes not from its creators, but from its audience. In other words, only art that can be appreciated by others will impart its essence and value upon the minds of its audience. This is something that the academia can never understand. I once pursued the mastery of art, much like how a researcher would chase wisdom and knowledge. However, the more of a connoisseur I became, the less I felt I understood. I began to question what it truly meant for art to be understood at all. I knew that the most sophisticated works are often the least appreciated, and yet somehow that provided me with little solace. I remained even perplexed about this conundrum until I visited this theater and watched one of Nilou's performances.
It was that life-changing?
Everyone here had a joyous part in the overall experience. The actors upon the stage basked in the love of their audience, while those in the house immersed themselves in the wondrous ambiance. In all honesty, from a purely critical point of view, the performances here are exceedingly average.
Hey, don't say something like that.
But what bewildered me was how, despite the performance's middling quality, they captivated their whole audience. They captivated even me. I realized then that I had walked the wrong road. The mastery of art was never what I truly wanted. I left the so-called frontiers of artistic research and came to this theater, For this is where I can finally find what I seek. Art will no longer be a castle in the sky. Whether it be inspiring or entertaining, art must be appreciated by others to confer value. If art cannot accomplish that, then it is meaningless.
When you put it that way... Mr. Zubair and I refused to follow the Academia's orders to change our shows for a similar reason. To put it simply, we were afraid that our shows would lose their meaning if people couldn't understand them.
I once stood in the spotlight, but I relinquished fame and acclaim for the freedom I enjoy today. I care not for where my feet may take me next, but Nilou, you need to remember one thing. You already stand upon the finest stage there is, and that is a rare gift that should never be taken for granted. You cannot give it up, not even to the Academia.
I understand. Thank you for your words of encouragement, Mr. Kasani.
Dust the cobwebs away from the eyes of those scholars.
He really seemed to care a lot about the theater.
Once you get to know him, you'll realize that he's actually a big softie.
Oops.
You're here. Is the theater actually closing?
He's been worried sick for a while now. He wouldn't stop talking the whole way back.
Hey, you two.
What exactly happened? Did someone come down from the Academia?
Yes. He told us that we have to shut down the theater within 30 days, and that it's going to be demolished.
What the heck? That came with no warning.
They're messing with us again.
Don't tell me you'll have to listen to him.
Come on. You know the answer to that.
Yeah, it is a direct order from the Academia.
There's no need to worry, though. I'm preparing for a public debate with the Academia. If I win, we might be able to overturn things and change their minds.
Really? That's terrific. You have my full support, no doubt about that.
Mine too. So what was their excuse anyway? They still not a fan of the theater's programs?
Yeah, something like that.
Good thing they have the power to make rash decisions about things they don't even understand, huh?
Yeah, they need to touch more grass, not books. Exactly. They want to look down on us? Ha! We'll look down on them first.
Don't worry. Everyone here has your back. The Academia's recklessness won't get them any praise.
Right. They might think that some forms of knowledge are more valuable than others, but everyone can equally appreciate art. If they don't believe that, send them my way. I got them beat on this subject.
Maybe you can prepare some questions on the details of dance performance to make things harder for them at the debate.
Sounds like a good idea. Maybe that's something I should do.
Ignore him. He's joking. Just do things your way. No matter what, we will always support you.
Thank you all so much. Your understanding and support make me feel a lot better.
There are always more solutions than problems. If you need help during the debate, just shout and the entire Grand Bazaar will be at your beck and call.
Gotta show them who has the people's support.
I feel like the pieces are starting to fall into place. Let's head back to the theater and organize our thoughts.
Sounds good. Inaya should also be back soon.
Abi, have you seen Miss Inaya?
No, Miss Nilou. Miss Inaya isn't back yet. Wasn't she just passing on a message? Does she really need this much time?
Oh no. Traveler, Paimon, I think I've messed up big time. What if Inaya never planned to come back?
What?
No.
It's just a gut feeling, but knowing her, she probably feels like she's completely responsible for what happened. She probably thinks that all of this happened because she was staying here.
Oh, right. As soon as her father showed up, she said that her father was targeting her. So she's felt like that this whole time.
She has a long-standing conflict with her father. That's why she ran away from home. She doesn't think that we can win the debate, and she doesn't want to implicate us, so she thought leaving was the best thing to do.
Mm-hmm. And then she just quietly left afterward.
Exactly. She's being too pessimistic. How will you know if you don't try? Anyway, first things first. We have to get her back.
But where should we start? Sumeru is huge!
I think I might know. Let's start by looking outside the city. Before I brought her to Zubair Theater, she was staying at a remote campsite. She got a fever from drinking unclean water, so I carried her back. If she has nowhere else to go after leaving the theater, she might go back and strike out on her own again.
Then let's go take a look.
Yes, let's hurry.
It's a good distance away from the city. Impressive. But I am the traveler and I can teleport, which should be faster than any other movement that anybody else can do on this planet. And yet, people beat me places. This should be talkie-talkie we don't need. The buff.
There are signs that someone had stayed here very recently.
But we can't confirm if it was Inaya or not. Let's take a look around first. Did you hear that?
There's gonna be fighting. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I heard it too. Let's investigate.
It sounds like we're getting closer. The voice is coming from over there.
Yes, we're almost there.
Stay back!
It's Inaya! She's being attacked by wild animals!
Inaya, don't be scared! We're coming to help!
Into the wind.
Huh? Rise.
Thank you. There weren't so many big animals in this area before. They chased after me for a long time. Sorry. I'm causing trouble for you again.
Why did you leave by yourself? You really don't think we have a chance at winning the debate?
No. I just thought it would take too much effort. Everything happened because of me. If I'm gone, then the situation will resolve itself.
Yeah! Everyone's working together towards a happier ending. No one should be singled out for blame.
It's all right if it's me. As long as the theater won't get demolished. You guys are the kindest people I've ever met. You shouldn't suffer so much because of me.
Listen to me, Inaya. Even if you were the reason that all of this happened, no one would blame you. Mr. Zubair said that you're one of us, so that means we will protect you. No matter what happens, we'll stand as one.
Nilou, there will always be a victim. Whether it's me or the theater. You can't eat your cake and have it too. You can't win a debate against the academia. Especially since your opponent will be my father. My father is an extremely demanding man. He's always wanted me to become an exceptional researcher and his academic successor. I tried my best to meet his expectations and did everything I could. But he still wasn't satisfied. Or rather, he had just never been satisfied with me. I'm no genius. But whenever he berated me, it was always as if he was asking me, "Why aren't you a genius?" Yeah, like I'd know.
So that's why you ran away from home?
At first, I thought the father would slowly come to terms with reality. But he just wouldn't stop berating me. For one exam, I earned the 3rd highest score. I thought that all my hard work had finally paid off, and that I could finally make father feel some modicum of joy. I even used the embroidery skills I learned at school to make a commemorative gift for him. I thought, even this daughter can make her father happy sometimes. Right?
I see. When we were embroidering your gift before, I didn't feel like you were new at it.
Yeah. Sorry for not bringing it up. These are not pleasant memories for me. I was tired of him yelling at me every day. All I wanted was to see him smile at me. But he was more angry than ever before once I'd given him my embroidery and told him my score. He flung my present to the side. You think you should be proud of 3rd place? Reflect on why you weren't 1st. I forgot how long I'd cried for. I only remember my parents arguing. My mother also thought he went overboard. They argued for such a long time. My father eventually stormed out and slammed the door behind him. I didn't get a single sentence of apology or any words of comfort. I've completely given up. We're destined to never understand each other.
How horrible!
I don't think you can beat him in a debate. Because he doesn't even understand what kind of place a theater is. He can never understand the relationship performers have with their audience. His life is devoid of camaraderie or friendship. He just wants everything to happen according to his wishes, as if the world revolves around him. What we cherish, our little place in this world, means nothing to him.
It sounds like your past has had a huge impact on you.
I understand now, Inaya. But when we were preparing for the debate, I heard something quite wise. Maybe it'll help you.
Oh god, these things again.
The most important thing about an experience is how you choose to interpret it.
Everyone is free to appreciate art. No form of art is inherently superior. No, there should be something else that's more relevant. Mr. Zubair has been meticulously managing the theater. Everything checks out. No, there should be
Art must first be
No, there's...
I was right from the get-go.
Miss Raykar has gone through a lot in her life, but she told us that she's very happy to live at the theater now. Although she ran into misfortune, it led her down a new path in life. She sees that as a blessing. She told me that the most important thing about an experience is how you choose to interpret it.
Interpret it?
I can sympathize with your unhappiness at home, but after you ran away, you ended up at the theater and became one of us. Those unhappy experiences allowed you to really cherish your bonds with everyone, and also gave you the opportunity to become friends with us. Don't let your past suffering keep you from the new life that you've worked so hard to find.
Oh.
Let the past stay in the past.
When I ran away from home, I swore that I would leave my family conflicts behind. But you're right. All I'm doing now is falling right back into it.
Maybe you'll disappoint him, but that doesn't matter. You have a new future waiting for you. Don't let go of the answer you've worked so hard to find.
That's right. If we put our heads together, there's bound to be a way.
You're right. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm not trying to meet his expectations. So why should I give up because of him? I can't afford to lose anything more. We have to win. The debate will not only protect Zubair Theater, but also allow me to settle things with Father.
That's the spirit!
Let's go. I'll tell my father about the debate. I know him very well. Even if he looks down on us, I know how to make him accept.
All right, let's go.
Now we're back to the Archon quest. Ugh. Mushroom.
Wind Strider. One with nature. Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Picked the wrong test subject.
Yep. Picked the wrong test subject. Okay. Back to what we were doing.
Follow the wind.
It's up there.
Time to go.
Yesterday, a total of 5 dusk birds flew by.
Thanks. I guess.
Good morning. Looks like you're awake. Yep, yep. I prepared some breakfast today. Please have a taste. I hope you'll like it.
It's nice to have you here so we can eat something yummy.
Wow, now that I've recovered from Elazar, I'm feeling better than ever. I can even prepare 4 or 5 meals a day now.
And Paimon bets they're all delicious.
Oh, by the way, someone brought a letter for you after you went to sleep last night.
Nope. Paimon wanted to read the letter with you after you woke up, so Paimon didn't open it. All right, let's read it now. Oh, it's from Nilu. Ahem. We're going to hold a feast at the Grand Bazaar and celebrate Cyano's reinstatement as the General Mahamatra. As heroes of Sumeru, please be sure to attend. I'll wait for you. The date of the banquet is written on the back. It's in 2 days.
Oh, I've also heard that you've become heroes here as well. That's amazing.
We are heroes in a lot of places.
Sometimes I'm really envious of strong and confident people like you. Oh, you're embarrassing me.
Anyway, let's go to the Grand Bazaar to have a look.
Oh, before you leave, be sure to inform Master Tainari.
How many Rupeshavan mushrooms do I need to sell before I can finally buy a property in town?
Tainari!
Ah, good morning. How do you feel today?
We feel much better. How about you?
I'm recovering well, thanks for asking.
But from the looks of it, you seem to be already busy with work again.
It's fine. I'm not that busy, really. The Elazar patients have recovered, as well as Hypatia. For now, I only need to tend to my Forest Watcher duties.
It seems once Irminsul started getting better, everything else started to recover too.
Yes, but there are still some residual effects. The withering is one example. Though it won't spread anymore, the existing zones won't just disappear. We forest rangers will still need to do the work.
By the way, we have some good news. Sino got his position back.
This news is hardly new. He had already mentioned it to me before.
Huh? You mean he was already here? Why didn't he come to say hi to us?
He visited once, but he was afraid of disturbing you while you were resting. He just asked me a few questions and left.
Then you probably already know all about the celebration feast.
Celebration feast? No, I haven't heard anything about that.
Huh? But didn't Nilu say in her letter that they would celebrate Sino? He didn't tell you?
Perhaps. Or, alternatively, he doesn't know about it either.
Come to think of it, Sino doesn't seem like the type to enjoy a celebration feast. You and Kale are both Sino's close friends. Why don't you come to the feast with us?
Kale has taken over some of my tasks these days. I don't think she'll have time for it. Not to mention me. You see, some VIPs have come to the forest recently.
Huh? VIPs? Very important Paimons?
Well, technically speaking, they are former VIPs. The sages involved in recent incidents have begun their training in the Avidia Forest, and the people they had previously imprisoned have all been released.
Huh?
Yes, he's a little weak, but he isn't injured and his condition is stable. Lesser Lord Kusanali, in her boundless mercy, has decided to spare Azar and the other wrongdoers. Supposedly, they were ashamed of their shallow ideologies, and have decided to dedicate the rest of their lives to cultivating wisdom in the Avidia Forest. When they learned that Lesser Lord Kusanali had defeated the Balladeer and saved Irminsul, they were shocked at first, but also became happy, feeling that the sacred light guiding them on the path of discovering wisdom had begun to shine once again. As a result, work has increased for the Forest Rangers.
That sounds really exhausting.
There is nothing we can do, really. But that's another topic. Back to the matter at hand. Are you two planning to head out?
Ah, right! We're here to request permission to head out. Would that be okay?
You've recovered well. You may go. But be careful.
Yay! Will do!
Well, there won't be any problems if the feast starts at that time. Everything has already been prepared.
Mr. Zubair, I finished tallying things up here. Well, except for the guests.
Is a simple reply really that much to ask of our guests? It's affecting our arrangements.
Oh, it'll be fine. Besides, it never hurts to get things ready in advance.
I was thinking the same thing. The feast will be held sooner or later, right?
Hey, Nilu!
Traveler, Paimon.
We got your letter, so here we are!
You're the best. The other guests haven't even replied yet.
Huh? Are we the only ones that have arrived?
Yeah, I had someone deliver letters to all of our guests. But maybe everyone is still busy with other things.
Look, I get it. Sumeru is in an extremely important period of transition right now, but even if your friends are important figures, they shouldn't just ignore your request like this. Nilou is Sumeru's #1 celebrity, after all. You have no idea how happy I am to talk to people with good taste.
If you consider enjoying Nilu's dance as having good taste, then almost everybody has good taste. Because Paimon thinks everybody will love her performance.
That's right. We all think she's amazing too. Nilou is an absolute favorite among those of us who frequent the Grand Bazaar. For Outlanders, you have a great eye. Master Zubair, let's have a vote for the most outstanding audience members next time. I think these two may win.
Nonsense! It is not for us to determine the value of an audience. But indeed, we could try giving gifts to people with particularly good taste. I heard there's a device in Fontaine called a camera that can record people's appearances as pictures. Such pictures would make superb gifts.
Ooh, good idea. I wonder where we can find one.
I wonder.
You guys are so funny. There's really no need for that. I'm satisfied just being able to perform here.
There's always a lot going on at the Grand Bazaar.
Yeah, and that's why I love it here. Traveler and Paimon, could you help confirm if the letters were actually delivered? If for some reason they didn't receive the letters, then please tell everyone that there will be a feast here.
Yeah, we can also check out how everything in Sumeru is going now?
When I wrote the letters, I heard that Dia was in Port Ormos, and Alhaitham was at the Academia. As for Sino, we've only heard that he appears at the Academia from time to time. I'm not too sure about Rahman's whereabouts. My guess is that he's with Dia. As for Dunyarzad, I just hope she's feeling better. I sent her a letter, but I was afraid of disturbing her. If you have time, please ask about her for me.
Okay, got it. Let's go, Traveler.
Every item I sell.
Life goes on.
Shine down!
What? The line could, so it would tell me to come in here instead of disappearing.
We haven't seen Alhaitham anywhere. Let's ask that person over there. Hey there, have you seen Alhaitham around?
Yes, it seems Scribe Alhaitham has gone to the House of Dana. You should be able to find him there. But you're already the second group of people I've seen looking for him today. He must be quite the busy man.
Oh? Who else was looking for him?
Mr. Cave was just here asking about him. You wouldn't believe how terrible their relationship is. And now you two are here. Don't tell me everyone's here looking for gossip about the sages.
No way! We're strictly here on business.
Ah, I see. Sorry, I thought maybe everyone's as interested in rumors about the sages as I am.
Alhaitham should be around here somewhere, right? Oh, he's over there! But it looks like he might not have time for us.
Just put down that worthless book and tell me what happened in the Academia.
This is not just some worthless book. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to find a physical book like this in Sumeru?
It doesn't matter. It's probably just another thing that you used your authority to get your hands on anyway. Just put it aside. Listen, I came back today only to hear that the sages have disappeared.
Oh? You sound surprised. I thought you would already know the inside story.
Would I be here asking you if I knew? You're the scribe, not me. So just tell me what you know already.
Well, I almost became a sage.
Huh?
Oh, don't sound too surprised now. You're the renowned Kaveh, light of the Ksharawar. Besides, as a master builder and craftsman, chances are you'll be appointed as a sage too.
Why do I feel like you don't really mean it?
Huh. What makes you say that? Why would you question my heartfelt sincerity?
Maybe it's because you've never said anything good about me before.
Yeah, well, I share a similar sentiment, and anyone who knows you as well as I do would surely do the same.
Oh, you... See? This is why I hate discussing anything with you. Your ridiculous and arrogant attitude always gets in the way.
It seems that you really can't stand my personality.
Ha! What was your first clue?
Well, then you might as well move out of my house.
Are you threatening me? Stooping to a new low, I see. Ugh, and don't change the subject. You, a sage? What a joke. The academia might as well just close tomorrow.
Are they having a fight?
Forget what's going on with the academia. Haven't you been busy with your construction project? Tell me, when are you going to build yourself a mansion?
Don't get me started. I get angry just thinking about it.
So, what great building did our master architect work on this time?
Like I need to tell you. Keep your nose out of my business.
No, I think we deserve to know. Where were you when Sumeru needed you most?
I was in the desert for a large project, but considering Haravatat's utter ignorance of architectural and aesthetic matters, you probably wouldn't understand. Oh, which is truly unfortunate. I can only pity the man who doesn't understand the first thing about beauty and romance. Unlike a true... hold on, wait a second. What do you mean by when Sumeru needed me most?
Well, while you were out fiddling around in the desert, many people came together to save Sumeru from a crisis.
Ha! And you think I'd believe that?
Look, all you really need to know is that Azar and all his accomplices have all been overthrown.
Huh? What nonsense are you talking about?
It's no skin off my nose if you don't believe me. It's not like my Darshan was the one trying to apply for funding from the Grand Sage. Yours, though, on the other hand...
You know what? I'll ask around. I'm sure someone knows what's going on here. You're dead if I find out you're lying to me.
Hey, Alhaitham!
Oh, it's you two. What's the matter?
We're running some errands for Nilou. Have you received her letter?
Letter?
Nilou said she sent out a letter inviting everyone to a celebration feast in 2 days at the Grand Bazaar. We'll also be celebrating Zaino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra.
If she addressed the letter to Alhaitham of the Academia, then the letter should have gone to my office. I've been busy these days, so I haven't had time to check for any new mail at my office. I only now have some free time to attend to personal matters.
Have you always been so busy with your work?
Of course not. I'm only busy these days because several sages have been dismissed recently and the whole academia was practically turned upside down.
Tainari told us they all went to train in the Avidia Forest. Apparently they will spend the rest of their lives there.
That is already the best possible ending for the likes of them. 4 of the 6 great sages were possessed by their desire for power and attempted to create a new god. In order to pull it off, they even imprisoned the other 2 rational sages. To imagine such things could take place in the academia. I don't know where to begin.
Yeah, you're right. Huh. Feels kind of strange to hear them called that after all this time. But then again, the 6th grade schools sounded pretty impressive too.
Yes, at least that's how they're supposed to sound. It's said that when the Academia was first founded, the Dendro Archon herself established the 6 great schools, each representing one of the 6 different types of wisdom. Numerous Darshans have sprung up and faded. Only the 6 Darshans attaching themselves to the 6 great schools have stood the test of time and obtained permanent seats in the Academia. Now, the 6 Darshans are nearly synonymous with the 6 great schools, and the leaders selected for the schools are the 6 great sages. Among the 6 great sages, there is one central leader, the Grand Sage. Unfortunately, only the sages from Vahumana and Amorta remain now. They were imprisoned for opposing Azar, and were only rescued after Azar's downfall.
So who's managing things in the other 4 schools now? Do they need to find someone new?
Yes. Normally, new sages are selected based on a strict set of criteria.
Oh, didn't you just say something about becoming a sage? If they pick you, then we'd have a huge connection in Sumeru.
Yes, about that. You didn't let me finish my sentence. The person in charge of personnel affairs nominated me to be the Grand Sage in place of Azar and help Lesser Lord Kusanali manage the Academia. But I refused.
Huh? But why? Ugh, can't you be a little more ambitious?
I'm not even interested in being one of the 6 great sages. Like I said before, I don't like being a leader.
Oh, all right. So are you busy these days trying to find others to take the job?
That's not my job either. I'm only responsible for handling important affairs within the Academia before the new sages take office. And the first thing I'll do is reject Kasharawar's application for funding.
By the way, who was that other person just now? Is he your friend?
Do we look like friends?
Paimon doesn't know. That's why Paimon's asking.
His name is Kaveh, my roommate. You could say he's the representative for Ksharawar scholars. Which is exactly why he always has so many problems.
So everything that's happened recently must be a huge change for the people of Sumeru.
Such is the work of the Academia Scribe.
Well, anyway, no matter how busy you are, since you are our planner, remember to attend the celebration feast in 2 days.
All right, I'll see you there.
We're off to Port Ormus. That would be Dahlia.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Port Ormos. Now where could
Is that Paimon I hear?
Huh?
Oh, it's been a while. How are you doing?
Dunyarzad! It's been so long since we've seen you!
I'm doing well. I can go as far as saying I have never been happier in my entire life. I don't know if you've heard, but Elazar has completely disappeared, and all the patients have recovered.
You kidding? Knowing them and the connections they've got, I'm sure they've heard about it.
Yeah!
Hmm.
That's right. My lady is feeling better now, so I'm accompanying her for a walk.
Why do you still call me that, Dia? You've already informed my father of your resignation.
I guess I'm just used to calling you my lady. Old habits die hard.
Resignation? You mean you're quitting?
Yeah, I might start losing my edge if I keep being a bodyguard for the Homayanis.
You know that my parents and I are fond of you, and that we appreciate you very much. It wouldn't be a problem if you wish to continue to be our bodyguard.
I'm not a woman that's easily persuaded. You should know that by now, my lady. When I took this job, I had already decided that I'd quit as soon as you'd recovered. It's time for me to get back out there and chase that horizon.
So what are you gonna do now if you're not gonna be a bodyguard anymore?
I want to take a risky job and put my body to the test again.
Huh? But we literally just finished one of the most dangerous jobs ever. Are you getting bored already?
I know. If I hadn't joined in that plan with you, I wouldn't have come up with this idea. I guess I still get fired up by that feeling of going all out in a fight. It made me realize that I'm still a mercenary through and through. Life is short, and I'm happy that I got to be a part of that operation. But the whole thing also made me realize that there are still many problems in Sumeru. And as a desert dweller, I'm still not completely ready to settle down on this side of the wall.
Well, I remember a friend had someone bring you a message.
You mean I'll hate them? I didn't expect him to still remember that. I thought he was joking.
We just came from talking with Alhaitham at the Academia.
Did he tell you that he suggested that I come work at the Academia?
What?
I heard that Azar and his cronies fell from power, and Alhaitham told me that now was a good time to find a job in the Academia, but only if I wanted to.
Whoa. Paimon can't see you being anything other than a mercenary.
Me neither. But I think Dia would look great dressed up as a scholar.
Ugh, forget about it. I wouldn't last 10 seconds in there. Alhaitham probably just liked the way I worked and knew I'm good in a fight, so he suggested I find some work in the Academia.
But you know, if you take him up on the offer, Sino might actually agree and let you become a Matra. Because you're super amazing.
The Matra have all the talent they need as long as they have Sino. I prefer to be free to live however I choose. In fact, I chose this job from the very start because I knew it'd be right up my alley.
Even if being a mercenary means facing all kinds of danger.
A lion has to return to the wild sooner or later. If anything, being your bodyguard has been unfamiliar territory for me.
I don't want to see you go, but I'll respect your decision.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Come on, no need for the sad face. It's not like we'll never meet again. Once the whole Dendro Archon thing is settled, everything in Sumeru will take a turn for the better. That makes me happy too. But a peaceful society will probably mean less demand for mercenaries like me. Before long, we'll be a dying breed. So I'd better get to work while I still can.
Huh? But wait a second. You make it sound like you're leaving now.
Well, no, not yet at least. I promised my lady I'd stick around until next week.
So, have you been in Port Ormos this entire time? We were wondering if you had received a letter from Nilu.
Oh, did Nilu write to us?
She heard that you were seen in Port Ormos, so she sent the letter here.
Huh. It was probably sent to the inn that we're staying at. My lady has been very energetic lately and keeps taking me on hikes, staying out even into the night. By the time we get back, the receptionist is usually off napping on the job.
Right, and we tend to leave quite early in the morning, so the old man on duty is also usually dozing off.
So what it really sounds like is that the person on duty is always asleep.
I bet the letter's at the reception desk. I'll go check later.
No wonder there wasn't a reply. You never received the letter. Good thing Nilu asked us to come and check on that.
Sorry to make you two come all the way out here.
It must be something important for Nilu to specifically write to us like that.
Yes, she said they were preparing a victory feast in the Grand Bazaar, and will also be celebrating Sino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra. She was hoping you could come.
Great! I'll be sure to attend.
Count me in too. But is there some sort of dress code or anything for the feast? Can I just show up looking like this?
Since it's being organized by Nilu, I don't think she'll be too picky about that. If anything, I think she wants to see us as our most natural selves.
All right, then this is how I'll show up.
The feast will be held in 2 days, so don't forget.
Sure.
Thank you so much for letting us know. We'll see you there.
Oh, by the way, do you happen to know where Sino and Raman are?
The General Mahamatra always comes and goes without a trace. Normally no one knows his whereabouts.
Oh.
But last time we met, he mentioned that he had something to do in Aru village. You can try your luck there. As for Raman, your guess is as good as mine. I only remember he said that he had something to discuss with Sino. You can ask Sino when you meet him. Don't mention it. You'd better get going.
All right, on to our next stop.
If you want to eat like a king, you've got to work like a mule.
You did not need to walk back and forth, interrupting the conversation the entire time we were in the cutscene, lady. Seriously. Clomp, 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 clomp. Ugh. Teleport so slow.
It's been a while since we last visited Aru village. Ah, there's Sino.
What brings you here?
We recovered well, and Tanari agreed to let us leave, so now we're out and about again.
It seems Gandharvaville's medical treatment is still as good as ever.
And Tanari is recovering well, too.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, you're the one who brought us to him when we lost consciousness, right? Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Tainari has excellent medical skills, and Kale is quite attentive. It was the best place for you.
But why are you just standing here like a dead tree?
I'm meeting some people.
Oh, you mean Candace?
I've already talked with Candace and the village chief. They're still at the usual place. You can go there if you'd like to see them. But you know one of the people I'm meeting as well.
Oh, by King Deshret's blessing, my friend suddenly appears in the desert. Don't tell me you've run into trouble and need us to help now.
Raman! And... huh? Sataria?
Oh, you know me?
Oh, well, you're pretty famous in the academia.
Don't worry, these are our friends. No need to be so guarded.
I see.
I'm doing well. Many good things have happened recently.
Same here. Really, I feel that my whole life has started to shine after suddenly finding a new direction.
Oh, tell us everything.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Alright, well, I suppose I should start by saying I've decided to leave the academia.
What?
It's not that I've given up on being a scholar. Instead, you could say I've found a new identity. I will no longer pursue research like a typical scholar, but I have not completely given up on my relationship to knowledge either.
I can see what you're saying now.
What do you mean?
I plan to leave the academia and return to teach here in the desert.
Wow, so you want to become a teacher?
Sataria will return to support education here and teach people from the desert. She can't teach everyone on her own, but there are many of us Eremites all over Sumeru. She came to discuss a collaboration with me and hoped that I could bring her ideas to the Eremites.
Yes, it's my hope that the Eremites can help me select a group of smart people with the best aptitude for teaching. I'll teach them, and after they've finished learning from me, they can go educate more people. That is the true meaning of education and the spreading of knowledge.
The people of King Deshret suffer from sandstorms, exile, and ignorance. Miss Ataria is more than welcome to come teach here. Her arrival is like a star shining in the desert night. The stars have always guided caravans, thieves, soldiers, and travelers who get lost in the night. They lead those in the dark out of trouble and back to safety.
Oh, please. Where's all of this coming from? I'm starting to feel a little embarrassed.
You deserve these compliments. Mercenaries are accustomed to danger and don't fear death, which is why we recognize extraordinary actions that common people would easily overlook.
Sataria's idea will bring much good to many people.
At first, I feared it was destined to fail. Everyone knows that the academia doesn't allow scholars to teach in the desert without permission. As you know, all knowledge is under their surveillance and control, and very few desert dwellers are as lucky as me. But what I heard at that time has been haunting my heart, as if there were lightning bolts constantly bombarding my soul. Sataria, you tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the academia's grasp on you will become. Sataria, why haven't you gone home? Never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
Miss.
These words sparked something in me, and I knew that I had to bring something back to my people after going home. I gathered up the courage to approach the Grand Sage, only to find that he was no longer at the academia. Lord Sino told me that Azar didn't belong there anymore.
Azar has received much-needed punishment. Though, if you ask me, it may have been too light. You probably have already heard.
Lord Sino helped me obtain permission to leave the academia for the desert, and accompanied me here to discuss collaboration with members of the Eremites. My plan was able to go smoothly thanks to him and Rahman.
You're all doing so much for the desert.
Aside from that, I also have some other business to discuss with Sino.
Lesser Lord Kusanali has allocated many resources to support and develop the desert. I've done some business for her, and part of it required the assistance of the Eremites. I applied for a few batches of educational materials from the academia, and sent them to several groups in the desert, as instructed by Lesser Lord Kusanali. I believe the people will make good use of them.
That's exactly what the people here need. Physical books and other related items. If it weren't for Sino and Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'm afraid we'd never be able to get our hands on them.
Apart from this, the academia is also recruiting scholars that are willing to teach in the desert. I'll let you and Sataria know as soon as I have any more news. We must be persistent about this, and maintain these resources to ensure long-term effectiveness.
This is the first time in hundreds of years we've had a glimmer of hope. I think this may be the turning point for the desert. Remember these words. Here lies our faithful priest, Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration. I hope people with wisdom like that priest will rise again among the desert dwellers. Then we'll once again see the wisdom and glory that once shook the world.
Enough about us. Are you here to discuss some business too?
No, not at all. We're actually here on behalf of Nilu. Nilu wanted to write to everyone, but she wasn't sure where the letters should be sent, so she asked us to come find everyone personally. A celebration feast will be held in 2 days at the Grand Bazaar. She hopes that all of you will be able to attend. At the feast, we'll also be celebrating Sino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra. Although, judging from your appearance, it seems you've already been reinstated. Paimon thought you would only start working for the Academia after the feast.
Celebration? Feast? It's the first I've heard of it.
Tighnari was right. He really didn't know.
This feast is for you, Sino. Sounds to me like you'll have to be there.
It's rare to see that kind of expression from Lord Sino. You must not like feasts very much.
No, not really. But I'll go.
Well, I still have a lot to handle here. Besides, I need to look after Miss Sataria in the desert, so I'll have to pass.
I'm afraid I won't be able to join you. Although, if you'd be so kind, please give a message to Miss Nilu for me. The message is, I'm sorry for how I treated you before, but now I understand the beauty of your dance. It's like a light shining in the sky. You and the art you symbolize are not only beautiful, but also lively and powerful, so much so that it was prohibited. Please keep dancing, and someday, I'll be able to appreciate your art in person.
Okay, we've got all that down. Our job here is complete as well. Oh, Sino, remember, party's in 2 days. Make sure you're there.
Got it.
So I just want to point out, I went from here to here after going from, where's here to here, all in a day, because it's still 2 days away. Wait for the feast to start in 2 days. Alright. This is where we're going to call it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.